Science fiction rests at night, pushing off to Saturn. A passage long and deep. You have to put on a spacesuit for this. Wake your computer. If it is asleep, stay with the ship. Self-correctional physics. It isn't about monoliths. It shall never come to an end, so get with this. And that's where we ended on our merry little planet. Cattsville, outer space, man. I would surely want to go there. From here it looks nice. Not some foreign land. A place with more new moons than we are accustomed to seeing. Added clutter of humanity scattered about their being. Brushed in a touch-up. Copied in a hurry. Flip out has his face rearranged. Until he's black and blue. The failure of artificial intelligence about. Get with it, man. Holy mackerel, more Stalin art that isn't claimed. Should get stoned like that every morning. The sun is not out. Only an African sign. Stay out, I own this. Superior art skill quickly began. This man first came up with something spiritual. Coloring it with paint. A Spanish influence. Sharp enough to carve wood. Picasso only it ain't. What is says is who I am. From one person to another man. Whatever this takes. Be on the scene. So there aren't only shades of grey. A fit place to be. If only for me. Upside down again. But this is okay. Keep on with it. Add more vista. Take in some fascinating nature as such. All in all, it is something growing. That means so much.
Had a few of those back in the 60s. Lysergic acid diethylamide was soothing. Orange Sunshine, the original. Very much expanding so. As we're truly moving. He's been that way for 60 years, poor thing. He hasn't moved since. Just sits there and stares. No sense to that nonsense. Now bird sense is quite another dimension. Avian artwork artificially designed. Everywhere you look it's corrupted. All taking place. Us with them in line. The lose of feathers gains meaning. How your next meal came by. Howling to an owl. To spot you must first learn how to fly. Remembering the rest of the alphabet: objection, rejection and recollection. Put it down now. Without the next line, our picture can never be complete. You get an animal connotation about it. A graphics interchange format repeat. Then spreading out. You can fan into any direction. More to a beat or dance. That groove meaning. Tailored toward a light show. Technically nothing would have to be that way. Well, others felt and know. Delirious brain-sick paranoids that fall in a trance. Toward all ends go. All fall in, down with preset rhythms, repeatedly slow. Our signal now to get in line to go again. Climbing a brainwave down the hall. Counting too many pixels, it's plain. They hang around that same old dial. Last seen to a case of dementia. Get over and start recounting it. Recovered or just don't want to be. God watches over this.
Originally shortened to Herman. That's who'd name kids that in this nation. Thurman all echoes in his state. From the beginning a transient warp. Bent to accommodate a fascinating mind. Look and decided to abort. Because he was part of an artificial neural network's application. More of this and I will give up the nations. Old immortal soldier by the sea. Another soul is spent. One more lifetime. Then it is going to be free. The way life's meant to be. On the right track. We will be right back. Don't go away. There is more to come. Rise above it a crack. Free forms into night. Tracing ladies ahead. In triplets it seems alright. The copies laid there end to end. All in order. Her stories and insight. There is no reason to rest here. Set to where happy couples begin. All an artist dream. And followed by an adversary's final grin. It is truly the bee lady. Only she is a hornet. So your mind round it wraps. Now not the other lowlier forms of life. And of course it's about insects. Only source of the story is Scourge of the Wasp Women. Mind within grasps. Finally you're a snake. A viper with whiskers no less. Come closer to making an assertion. The entire picture is about containment. No one sees it that way, you say. You are nearly correct. Simply a statement. I'll see it as you see it. To most, an atmosphere therein is atonement. and again if nothing more. Another long day well spent.
The difference between 8-note octaves and 7-note scales. Now you take 2 and that leaves the rest. 5, but that's actually 12. Minus sharps and flats. We all know too well. So leave it at the register then. Get with this move and maybe move over half a step again. It is the mirrored effect. Now climbing the ladders. Because it is misleading. Get with it, man. Taller than pyramids. Let's face it. It is up to me what I am. No matter. It is an interpretation of the pictures you are seeing. Shifts to hieroglyphics. Call it that one night stand. Seems the greatest move in evolution besides people. The 8-sided thing. Now counting limbs and tentacles. That make grasp needed to bring. And, no bones, squeeze through a hole the size of their geek. Change shape and colors to camouflage and imitate. Reason I speak. Bet they hear a mouse fart miles away. Not exactly understanding one fears. See, hear and bend the wind around with its wings. Once things happen, you may not want to. The most instinctual wisdom one could imagine. Not even a squeak then. Not around this guy. Those are its ears. You'd never expect to make a living. Some of us do. If it is worth work. A good old playground paranoia. Not literally but close. Down to earth. Given up to festivities and all you can remember. A season to enjoy. Revelers abound and everywhere there's interest. Talent to employ.
Our journal continues in astral color, harnessing stars and galaxies' power. Dragged along by dark energy, released in immense explosions, some pulled to be set until the next cycle of force begins to flower. Enough to push planets, converted into a directional momentum. Don't hesitate to recognize a beginning. In no time your recall will come back. Until nature comes to collect us. No time remaining. And here we stay, weeks on end, for the rest of our lives. Waiting on the first day. It is happening right now. Bend a little, but remain on track. A bit late, 100 million years. There is something immense under a tree. It is returning to you. Seems you have overslept. It is still present, you see. Checking on the gargantuan passing beneath us. Watch where you step. The ground is very loose and everything is still wet. Dusted confusion blocks memory. When they outlive their keeper, they die. A power source, run by a fusion reactor, contained as a perpetual clock, keeping mortals from becoming immortal, held in a perpetual time lock. The great ones became larger than life. We are so small is why. You'd have to grow then fall in love. A part that's hard when you are hated. Time is now close for learning. Life is a long, complicated, twisting path. Keeping still, you trust no one, not even ones to whom you're related. We look and wonder. Becoming lost, there turns no way back.
Again, forgetting lots. Don't get too brief and suggest it is something else. Wouldn't carry lines if it were a fishnet. Piecing words to factual wealth. First, it's check inside our memories. Your mind suggestion blocks. And left to alien form where artificial intelligence flocks. Forced up a self-preservation ladder. All eyes cast toward the skies. You want it to go down, inspiring something. Fact is often defined by lies. Seen by untruths, it stands out. Not ignoring mind connecting dots. Call it stable. Or at least recurring cycles. All line up for shots. Looking into it is made to last. That for this time. We are here from the past. The binding of nucleuses. Quark energies and the strong atomic thrust. Because we are stardust. Most loosely described as very compact. Proton-neutron attraction by charge. Initially bound as much. Somewhere between what ails me and where problems may be. Well, that heap. Better tell Dave the spaceship's headed for a big black hole. He was asleep. Thought it would never stop. Piloting that rotten Saturn probe so long. Searching the entire mystical galaxy in search of the song. Be sure to buckle down for safety. Hoping to see her there by the turnstile. We may never be back. Last line on our return and entry. For a while. We're left to machines to do it for me. We would never make it. Knowing the path helped. Even when the machines didn't work or fix.
Artificial intelligence has its blind eye. In a time dimension, it's all emergency. X-axis diagonally to the right. The line draws close but never reaches me. The total volume above the axis. Becoming greater increasingly. The barrier is infinity. We've all disagreed unceasingly. Relaxed at the last doors atop the deck. At the last guard post we all stopped. Nothing was left but the thick green fog. With an eerie blurred tinge on top. Lost here half a year. And a long time ago. Because we worked there. And at night it is a long way to the water, beware. Just born to rock and roll. The barriers we encountered seemed overwhelming. Yet all to the love of music. For it bears the soul played out on a string. It's an ordinary line, the 4-time. Pick and follow it with a scale. See where that last struck note may once again prevail. So the art sits. Thinking then recovers. The world of good health regain. Come to rest now and get comfortable. Just relax because it cures pain. It is so. How fine and dark the pigment. As such the texture of us. In the land of brothers. Ground to the brown coffee-colored dust. Sampling again your own homegrown. A rare treat. Once it became dispersed. The herbal remedy no doubt. The sweet taste of blossoming plants grown. Not the mystery it once was. Seems like a spice. More becomes known. But the mouse friend, our herbivorous buddy, has tried it first.
Laid in fast food. Plastic, clay, and some fabric Nerf darts, empty oil tubes. To say the least, it's what you get for messing. Now say it again, dudes. You get it. That flimsy excuse always used to go directly to hate. Now shorten up and fasten to an XL. I like others do me, mate. When you find a time plane where the clocks are equal. That is the experiment. All gone into a new clock design. Aimed out at the distant cosmos straight. And that is done. But who needed excuses was him. Hate to reiterate. Balls of pigment dropping onward. A total embarrassment. In blossoming blush. An eye that guides us draws near. Gamma ray emissions. The constant you say is my normal rate of speech extending outward. Quite faster than the speed of sound. Always moving our craft onward. Sunken again in a frame that is expanding at a standard deviation. Waiting, just the other side of a counter. Otherworldly elicitation invites you. And within it a promise of an idealistic bond. The way you are pointing true. So if this were between us, I might wait to become invited is all. At the entrance to a large and waiting musical hall. Last of the long lost causes. The nearly gone artery. Stretching to nowhere. Extending down your arm from the brain. Slowly climbing upward from there. Now coming down your mountains. Again you laugh. And by what right? Lay it down there, my man. Where it can be seen in the light.
Would take no time explaining. If there were a great revelation in this. That thing is in fully automatic. I suppose it goes where it is pointed. Between the street sign and stoplight it fired. Watch what it hits. Straight stick and dead reckoning. Live to be that age unexploited. That ascending feeling of arches. Extending to the sky in grand recall. An aesthetic era for their designers. Principled forms of balance all. Aqueduct appearances of the great vaulted windows. Put them all aside. There will be no place for you to go. And nowhere for her to hide. Always was, it is a long way down. Our job, make them stay in the sky. So by their appearance, time to find a new line of work for all of them. Because I'm getting tired. This way of living is wearing me out again. More mystic and merry tunes in a melody say, watch where you fly. He barked and wagged his tail. Out to check the early mail and place to sit. Should have expected it. That event is here. It's how my dog saw it. Just as we thought it was safe to walk on the street. And so another invasion starts. Conquest Earth, it's happening now. That is neat. So get going. It is looking up from underground. Trying to scare us to despair. If you are going there, well, you got to be ripped. Could not stand the stare. It might just be fun exploring. Not knowing what is in store. Cities grown on this. A man might guess. Never been before.
Put in pointedly plain language. Her ambition ended before it had begun. She meant to get someplace. So did everyone else. Given patience then. There was no reason for attainment. Big aspiration now that is none. Do not lose view of those far-sighted objectives before you begin. Anywhere over it being an objective. Because you see there's no clear line. The question of its having a horizon at all. Very hard to even define. Once you get placed, there is always another point off at a distance. Repeatedly until it is clear around the world in that instance. Go over and hit him. Take his mushrooms away before he gets in the car. Anyway, it was a contest. And he blinked first. That is not getting far. Fish are restricted and amphibians forbidden in this, it is supposed. Move along now, people. There is nothing to see here. It is closed. Getting along with it. That's a book. Don't bend over. Start another fight. Taken along by rules then. People in pairs part. Passers-by in the night. They'll all be moving over. Extend a courtesy so it will be returned. But don't go away empty-handed. For all else must be earned. Except extinction has ended the all of us. Oh, that there were virtue in death. There would be no more of that stick around experiencing of eternal unrest. Last excitement of their days, no doubt, dancing around. Sadly made in our image. If only for one more merry fool to get down.
Get it going backward again. Thought I lost you. Split by division in our ranks. Each frame flashes for just so long. That is 3600ths a second. Frames at 50. Now here's your mental picture. Just fill in the blanks. A next officer. Set to move in 18 seconds. Stranded in hyperspace for now. Still trying to figure out the last sentence. The end of the futuristic encounter. In each of these a story. That's it, cat. To keep the meowing brief. Explain just so it sounds like that. Guess you'll be there a while. 50 years in state prisons. The grander part of that is the shelter we kept. After our float bumped. Sobering but not very warm. After that was 10 years on an ice planet. Bundle it all up and guess how long you have been around to plan it. In order to finish everything. Always waiting on your last big job. Someplace close to nowhere one would imagine. And after that, you have arrived. Far and out of the way from people. So far, in this case, it is stranded. Expecting the inevitable. Wondering what is down there you dived. That just looking at it. This could be now what we had demanded. But this is how it all came down. When life's done you no good recently. Many 100 feet tall. Were the tiny creatures. You got to see them. That could now turn into worse. They would never treat us decently. Better keep in some realm of reality. Or become stepped on by him.
Quark triplets may survive exponentially longer than the universe's baryons. Fundamental elementary particles making hadrons. Protons and neutrons. Point being there is more to write. Due to the nuclear force. Discarded and lost the words will never affect our universe's course. Chance for embarrassment or being thrown out of college. What the effect was. Things that are virtually indestructible. 3 is important in numbers. Total protons charging a nucleus. Lithium has the atomic number. 4 neutrons, 3 protons and same number of small electrons. No one bothered. Sun went down. Stars came out. She began to slumber. Feeling shared, everyone moved outdoors. Without a roof in the summer. Sleeping peacefully, only to wake and find her home gone. No one cared. Given a lifetime. There was no reason to. As she had come prepared. More state of mind than physical place. It's heavy but light as a feather. Power problems were solved. Traded for machinery, our forests sold. Secret road to the future. Utopia barring nature. Never got together. They called it a palace. The sterile surrounding slippery and cold. Now that you are feeling better. Accept it as inevitable and see a doctor. Leaving a body behind for one artificial. Trading brains for processor. Everything but thought is mechanical. Awareness following through. You will not need to lend a hand. You haven't any. It became true.
Faster gives you an edge, but is also dangerous. Who gets there first? You may not want to arrive. Still we race to the end, if only to escape. Hoping to gain a means to alter the past, and the future to reshape. Destiny is what that is. Prizes for winning never to be reimbursed. an area which is your own. You wrap an arm around it that gets defensive. Anticipation, hope we knew what you were thinking, becomes intensive. Come close, not too close. Outer space is that which is not in my face. Mind boggling to a point you give up and quit that entire race. And so we fear the dark without any larger eyes for understanding that. Burned out as a light filament, electricity no longer passes through. Nihilistic view of hereafter. Life no longer shines, it fades to black. Individually, that is. As a collective, it generally continues to. Everything hinges on the unknown. Stop worrying. Should it become reality? Life is in the living, not in any heaven. We would all go there very gladly. The promise of afterlife is only that. Prophecy requires foresight, but may be a coincidence. Death is final. You got it right. Doesn't work another way around. You'll see what it feels like, the one claim. When living seems hell, we seek non-existence, non-being, balancing pain, and finally never goes away, paid for only in retribution of the same. Often we don't know what caused it, or the ones to blame.
That which is just or fair may to become God, then so, also demanded. Seek your maker's meaning, and dish out only what you expect in return. Next, through your own deeds, the wisdom to judge, one may also earn. That truth be determined. Respect is something not simply handed. In reality, each instant is a first second of the rest of your life, wanted mention. The end is near but not now. Savor each moment like the last, pay attention. Haste makes waste if there's absolutely no time to hesitate. There could be more days to come. Be patient, sit and wait. More than life itself, it is toward the preservation of knowledge that we strive. A destruction of such, where it seems harmful, it is what keeps us alive. Be it remembered, an essence to our being, a genetic composition, intelligence as such. Not so if it causes our annihilation. Evaluation of an opponent's strategy, more important than its own invention. That there be preparation to counter an attack, understanding it an asset. Things in your backyard, best left alone, unless they have intention. The aims and purpose thereof should become first assessed. Much is hated grammar, an altercation to meaning. You couldn't count the pain, see it as you like. It doesn't change. Done correctly, any meaning's gone. You will not stop the world from spinning then, or make it rain. No matter what you say, it is not a constitution. More sung.
Picture perfect leaves little to an imagination, remaining eternally the same. Seeking a utopia in the sky isn't going to last. Judging on earth's past, flawless perfection not being right, leaving no room to change. In time you'll come down from it. Only hope it is not too fast, that a next moment may become your last. Try to understand, enjoy and relax. A yellow sun rises and sets, and is all getting dark, now fading to black. Sure you will get home in time for it to happen, then fall asleep. Stillness of the solitary evening becoming ever calm and deep. Alien life bugs world all along, bigger and better until it becomes a hive, making intricate nests, in which they belong. Entire cities in them to hide. People do much better, going on with humanity, ascending to space. But and still, where you originate, that very same place, filling blank space with anything named art, wishing for homes among stars, seeing the future, remember the past, all bound for heaven, none arriving. A very pleasant feeling, more heightening effects that speak aloud, settling for something quite less, lofty perches among the cloud, more structures dedicated to priests, closer for those above, awaiting an end, only to keep the faithful busy, as idle hands are the devil's tool to begin. A worker's mausoleum. When they don't work they just cause fights, and to heighten the effects they have added extra lights.
Corruption, a death sentence, no less a paragraph. Creation, one for life. In the end we know which outweigh the other, or if force was right. Pacifist intentions are best, taking action only when it affects me. It dictates our future, see, turns the past into a present reality. Account taken into consideration. You can't be on both sides. Do not neglect. Related to another person's death. A terminal wedding of cause and effect. Proof is the burden of those who accuse. Finally, that becomes the due. Showing any direct association. One judges must choose. Twiddling our thumbs. Only completely unable to simply sit back and grin. Maintaining her respect. After all, it's done little or no good to bribe us. Same will gain in certain ways. As your own mother, nature decided. You begin to hate it. Because you realize we just can't win. Nature is a cruel master. Wouldn't like to burn. Try giving her something back. Do not expect it issued in return. Love and respect, a thing most of us lack. Go stand in the shade. Colder than a block of ice, it can be. That too, mighty nature made. Folded into trees, well as me. Becoming sick, we refuse to deal with it. Arising from an ancient ocean, spreading onto land. All that is present above water. Our present notion. The fossilized record in mineral deposit. Completely wiped out over again. Incomplete but gaining credibility. An only place to begin.
Tapping fingers in percussion. Wonder in merriment of it. Feet lifting nightly. Look for what is meaningful. One more thing to complete before we die. Much time left. Music's classical end. Interpreted in Becoming 5. Notes climbing to great long heights before falling lightly. Vibrations of ever-expanding points. Floating out in all directions forever. The wall of sound that hits you like a wave. Passing over and through. Difficult still to visualize as solid. Hardening noises to whomsoever. Carrying us each along with them. A tune we thought you knew. What it means to arrive. A place, house and in it. Our end or final piece. Another day breathing the fresh air. Waters calm and feelings abrupt. That should last a long time. But does not. No point in messing it up. Looking at the ocean and willing to drive. A walk along the beach. Their ship had problems. A place there were aliens. What prices they paid. In a world of the future. Headed off again into space. What a place to go. Ming the Merciless, Flash Gordon and Dr. Zarkov on planet Mongo. Because it was impossible to leave. Only reason they stayed. Can't imagine how these Murans got there. Landed in 1956. A frozen desert. Hardly worth the trip. Long way off. It's a ghost planet. Prophecy fulfilled. Next stop Mars. It isn't SpaceX. Old C5 flicks. But even for money friends wouldn't be possible to plan it.
Light squared only times 1000. Or around 43 quintillion. Alterations of about 2 to the 11th possible combinations, dude. Like it is an imaginable number. A billion squared or a quadrillion. 27 is 3 to the 3rd. By rotating sides of this cube. Hope that it is like this. If we ever get there. Earth-like, expect to see. We both fight for meals. Put me in a rocket. I guess then, but hope not. I'm attached to this place quite a lot. Lesson it's that or be shot. No, I'll stay home. Send my dog. Nothing is in it for him or me. Eating from the tree of knowledge. Arguing it to a judge. Over original sin. Until we all get the point. Temptation always is. And has forever been. That one ultimate martyr became sacrificed. Admitting to his origin. Humanity otherwise is no more than an infection here to begin. At least it would be without all the people. What I am saying. A nice place. Watching moon recur over again. Now Mr. Hugo Drax was in that race. There wasn't enough real estate to go around. And he had to have it all. Yes, life is always a strange trip. And our earth is a ball. Really need to take a vacation. Maybe not even leave your place, friend. And you started out to get to. I only never got. Stop before you begin. No doubt about this. Any way around it. Virtual just ain't reality. And so that never ends. One destination with no signs of finality.
No accident, quite intentional. Attempts to rule Earth from space waited. Bandits from other planets. Bigger stories about futures being created. You could get away with anything. Except breaking rules of the hunter. Failure ending in death. Some went to explore. Others to plunder. Excuse me, please. You are on someone else's turf. Get out of his way. That Martian was here first, and seems he is extremely intent to stay. One more step with that rover. It is over. But not for him and his dog. One more day of detailed entries in an astronaut's continuing log. It seems clear to me. What is the wave motion's force carrying particle? A field of empty space. Liquid as can be. Offering resistance like air. Something is pushing back on us. We are not solid. In this article, assumed to be in a vacuum where, apparently, you see nothing there. Sounds like the writing of an absent-minded surf bum. That would be correct. Based on observations of nature, a little science, and learning we neglect. Go on now. Taken seriously, it may be about dark matter's beginning. Everyone is welcome to an opinion, if not too threatening. We are keepers of our planet. Let it become filled with sunshine and laughter. The reason for being, for this place we call home, is amazing in many ways. Life is a transient experience to most of us. Give thanks and praise in our wishes and prayers. Preparation of the hereafter.
Not to mention his hair is on fire. Seems to be some problem with smoking it. That's why you should use a pipe. Down to roaches. He was a misfit. The ladies were after his hair. Carefree bachelor, all his life. In ways, we were all cousins. Maybe you could ask him for a light. Seems a specialty that ran in the family. With people trying to get away. Door-to-door salesmen are afraid of him. He never missed them either. Don't try running. Or go off half-cocked as well. Like my uncle here. There is a backyard full of them. Had to feed the plants every day. How provocative they named her Cleopatra. There was a census taker at the door. It sometimes happens. The plant belched loudly. People simply disappear. He just became another statistic. No one knows what happened here. Read it again. Don't be an accomplice. Can't think what for. No movie complete without a train wreck. Important messages cinema sent. All comes to cost cutting. We use a scale model. In this case only a dent. Now they are going to make it mostly tax deductible, the government. That's the conclusion. And of course where most our budget went. Budget for this movie was the price of admission minus the love scene. Popcorn not include. No one was acting. Made to fit the silver screen. Starring a new girl next door and her pet cat. The way it was with her. Plus cost of a model train and my aftershave. What is spectacular.
Bosons collectively, in forms of coherent waves. It seems unrejected. The dark matter issue that weakly interacting massive particles are solving. Not massive compact halo objects. I don't side with them resolving. Continuing a hunch lacking proof, which is by the Higgs connected. That which can be produced is detectable, requiring enough energy to get there. Sometimes just to draw attention. Ride with it. Though it's getting us nowhere. Try a different idea. Give up on textbooks. Choose any novel one. In reality, you don't have to go any place to have fun. Follow a carnival or join a circus. That's how to lead life, avoiding misery. Each of us has potential. In many cases, we choose to use it unwisely. Where it's harmful, counting on destruction as the more persuasive. Two forces work together. Give up broken for something creative. Don't be self-sacrificing to either. Two consuming emotions, hatred and love. Light is always inviting and made to enjoy. Touch can burn you, no kidding. Like black and white, with no shade of gray. Side with heaven above. Though it seems mostly empty, dark, cold and forbidding. Who makes it to heaven? Same one that made it. The singularity creating us. Even knowing it is out there. That meaningfully referred to as our Father. Let there be a light. Least all that's detectable or conceivable as such. Then that beyond observation. No point going any further.
Don't say there's nothing there. But that it seems to be like boundless seas. Electromagnetic spectrum in any wavelength. Back in time's direction. Furthest signal received from anywhere. We have set our boundaries. Far as it reaches. Looking outward in our sphere of observation. In geometric version, having no bound, seems our universe is flat then, shall expand forever. Nothing standing still. We're in an open system, exchanging energy and matter with no beyond. Space extends infinitely. Another universe is incompatible to anything three-dimensionally, synonymous with the curvature of space, the part that bends quite a bit. The fourth force of physics, it is out there, but nothing you can see. Photonic energy knows no straight line, as it is affected by gravity. Maybe time we are looking at, a fourth dimension on which we sit, called cosmology. Put it in your pipe, then smoke it. Causes me no distress. It's all that motivates me. Gone like the hour wasted waiting on a bus. By time distant objects have effects on me. I'll be at a new address. No point sitting around waiting on a bill to catch up with us. Some have got it wrong. A heavenly father and father time tied the same knot. Never ending, only having one beginning. The unwinding of an eternal clock. Certainly for us and anything mortal, including the heavens, maybe not. The same maker, suggesting eventually that it may stop.
With scientific notation and atomic clocks, amounts of time are perceivable. Lifetime of a proton, 10 to the power of 25 years. It is quantifiable. The universe, 10 to the exponent 10. That's also justifiable to anything human. The duration is quite incomprehensible. So accurate is the oscillation of quartz crystal, range to an exact degree, from a beginning of our universe, based on atoms' resonant frequency, varying less than a second. It is important, in measuring distance right, from transmitters to a receiver, based on the speed of light, detected by human ear, telling us when some long arrangement had begun, if that is so. In keeping time to music, as individual clicks begin to hum, giving out a tone, dancing to rhythm, set by a metronome's pendulum, numbered steps to measure, as all the notes become a total sum, a moving painting, a step forward, that you have to make, your gut reaction, analyze what you see, proof of our being, expressed in abstraction, requiring small effort. No paint, just colored pixels, not a canvas. Everything just fell into place. 2 spaces back, reverse advances. No one cares for problems. Life's about fun. Unless that is hurting others, you're not alone. Look at things from a standpoint that is another's. Taking life too seriously can kill you. Make your work forms of play. Draw it funny. Laughter is addicting. Go on and lighten the day.
You might put it that way. Not to mention parties involved, or why it is done. Causality influences where one event contributes to production of another. At least partly, for effect dependent on causes. That's a mother. For a lasting treasure. Or a moment's pleasure. Only for fun. Attributing that to life. Species reproducing, try to mix. Rising like a tree. Nature works like that. I don't know why either. You should not ask me. Figure it out from what is around us. Look out to the heavens again. It is where we all came from. Time spans that will never end. You may think then, each lifetime a new act, maker of heaven and earth as well. That beyond our sense, makes us seek it all the more. Light's limit too, which is a play the Almighty watches. Finally we begin to rebel. Till told not to, censored or forbidden knowledge not for you. Eventually domains fail. Like they were made. Some a success, others lies. The course of evolution. It hasn't become decided. Until each of us dies. Random circumstance of being struck by meteorites. Everything in it. All of us are at odds. Everything is a likelihood or statistic. Acting without constraint of necessity or fate. Not being killed for treason. State a truth. Dying for it makes a point. Like the force of creation. Not knowing until too late. Change is effected through manipulation. Free will, our power. Ability to act at one's own discretion.
Don't forget it. The one that is right. The ending is simply elementary. Today is a time for statistics. Pulled on a proportional ratio, they say. The author undiagnosed in this case. A reason for making the entry. What else accounts for a number? To be correct in counting as may. Nothing solid as a brush stroke when painting seascape. Oil on canvas version. Colors in different combinations. No supers in a Moscope extra wide insertion. The 16:9 ratio or hexagon. 1080. Regular sizes for the monitor. The big container got weighty. It is the Zoom Dog. Take another look up close. Have a whiff of it. And have the rest. Seems familiar, but the sweet's for space. Again, this is what makes you best. Get comfortable because you are not going anywhere. Must be stuck in orbit again. Again with your dog sitting there. Water vapor under pressure. Wheels, pistons and springs, wood for fire and gas. Girl looks steamed. You are right, up front and close. Punk work turning at last. Get lost behind it. Because its main force is hot air. An exhaust that is the same thing. Heated up and boiling there. It's a long ride of bumps. What each mound is for. Cushion up, this gets true. The ones that survived. Seeing colored clusters hanging on pink and blue. Cake coral fungus spore-like bundle of thinking spheres or a gel. Coming down again as rain. Being that's exactly where it fell.
Because you only get 3. Now a second wish. For one that it would square. And last to remain productive. It hasn't been made. Now get with it, band. One more good night's sleep, no doubt. Someone to throw in there. Maybe bring it together if only to post another entry firsthand. Like he's taking this tough. Naturally Kurt had it all along, of course. There's Nirvana as well. Most likely a course to heaven by ecstasy. Don't say it's a must. But yes, more like teen spirit. That driving force. Getting down after Manic Monday is gone. More our right, you see. Standing in the crosshairs of our Martian friend. Beware Twitter, you're in his way. Hope he doesn't fire that thing and we all lose our jobs. A game he wants to play. No sir, it must become unobstructed by humans, nothing new. Do not get between Mars and Venus. Whatever you do, heaven may not be what you think. Interstellar space has frightening conviction. Any place habitable filled with more predators and an astrological constellation. Told of by Ptolemy. Identifiable by Regulus, its brightest star. Between Cancer and Virgo. In any hemisphere you are. Get on with it. Listen to what is becoming said, confident, born to lead and bold. What is to become discovered, though possibly unreachable. Or so we're told. Don't make a decision based on pictures. See it from an observer's point. Listen to every argument. That much is voiced.
Osric Tentacles said, where is nothing. Only any short distance above our sphere. To us it's unimaginable. In reality where it's not. There's not even near. Merely a distance. Mostly to the ground. Remember your medications. Do not get too far away without longer preparations. Starting up another roll. A strange land indeed. Reaching out to mention. Keeping in tradition. The lasting king of grunge. Wherever it may land. But say it slowly. As we approach the stop there. A long, incomplete sentence. So go on with it, of course. More rhetoric for the band. Staring at stars as usual. Getting high as man in the moon. Laughing at him. If on the course of a mission others must wait. That is too bad, let them. Last season it was a failure. Nobody knows whose fault either, not his. No one is leaving until he's finished. The man Homer is. Solid figure cast in stone. Stand horizontal to surface naming terrain. Called what you like. Some outstanding features are Shadow Lane. The figure, a man behind him. It sneaks in as a shaded area. In and out of a beach. A giant moon in close orbit. As within an arm's reach chic. Dry but lasting home. Be hardy, carry water. Neither find an oasis, of course. Next to vanish on into a sunset. Trotting along softly. Alone on my horse. So we keep on plodding along till tomorrow. Then time will tell. And stuck in the middle of some weed. Where my footsteps fell.
Tell us about it. Sign of New X-Men. Once more for a 7th time back when. The same thing we had all been smoking. So it's King of Middle Earth again. Looking back to it. A gamble to appease the gentle mantle of our sun, long time in the past. The primal rush had just begun. You may as well get with it. End the period. Inhale till you're better. Not calling on the line. Become labeled incorrect or patched together. It has timing because of dependence on the practiced last frame once. Always tell yourself you can do it later. That requires response. It's time of month again. So seems receptive. Put it off till last minute. A subject dealt fragrance of lilac. Sense the color purple or lavender. She's in seventh heaven of late. Looking ahead, checking a calendar. Savoring the moment to float away again. No longer depending on it. You do not have to achieve it. That is just a feeling. Comes court loyalty. A momentary feeling. When you're really in control. More like royalty. Grammatically correct, it ain't. The only intent to convey meaning. If that don't work, ditch the sunglass and get with some paint. Seeing to the sun. As the last day had begun. Toward the instant beckoned. Wanted to be on the poster. One after the other. Slides half a second. There is ahead, one more, never ending, continuously long succession. Then all else is left still. And all the movements became reckoned.
Because it hadn't been written, Sphinx cousin, the old owl of time, as claimed the course's Betelgeuse, the related mind, going supernova 1600 light years away, not much effect on us, mining the Death Star daily, strictly in the right Sagittarius arm of our galaxy dust. Back in those days, the one way describes it, we were only following orders, to the front, move over all the mining equipment. 1 battalion of soldiers, looking out over our shoulders. One sees a long line of shipments. All United Parcel Service does anymore over its commitments. Standpoint being you're late. My milk is getting warm. Hurry up, Henry. Because down in the cellar are my cozy enemies. About my diary. That's it, they're all spies. We all have watched tonight over any short period. Getting ready to depart the continent. Don't depart it in delirium. Not lined up on a shelf but scattered about. Cut everywhere light enough. A new set of sea blotches. Well-ordered fans and faces. Factory-made stuff. The young crazy state we get back to. Out in your backyard. Without merit or warrant, it becomes useless. And cast out so hard. Which is surprising. I checked walking out the door. On my way to catch a ride. Or worry going around. More lost bills and worries over my own digestion. We're under detection again. The last time they found my chip's side. All on any normal day. No lengthy thoughts of depression.
For our barefoot friend, going may be tough. Now that he's tougher and older. Leading up to autumn. Still looking for a place. Shall be getting colder. For now, sit and listen. Long climb up a short ladder to his store. He has always been a scavenger. Everything stashed outdoors. So it goes on, those gimmicks under heavier atmosphere, allowing colors. Post-mortem transgraded roads here. It is hush hush and so on, brothers. 20% levels. The rest is useless nitrogen concentration. Called for an atmosphere that's breathable. Too much hexagonal oxygen. What old experiments predicted. Don't stand in harm's way. Extend the effect. Something heavier than coats worn in winter. Rotational in effect coated. The box of donuts and that bread. Carrying on with other varmints. Did off with. Go ahead because there are brakes all loaded. Go on with it. Not in court. For what it is seeing is not real. Illusion sown. Drifts on ink blackness in the night. Depending on steel nails grown. Mounting a canvas just such. It's time to eat. Get the full effect. Or it's slow drift away with it. Here enjoy at least one defect. As if with full effect enjoy. One old saying to follow. Not in my footstep. Locally sold at the store. Follow it up now. Can't see how. Tied to a keyboard for good. Well, sold anyway. To the nearest creatures. Infecting an arm of an old chair. Cemented to the label saying omelet.
For the seat. Winks again to see you're awake. Find the keys and lighter. That was the last card. It was also magnetic information age to retire. At least 55 stories down. It had a plastic disc cover no less. They say that after this, all is lost. To the crowded address. Prince Wannabe and Silver's Desert Palace. It's why they call him that. An ever-extending landscape covers the background there. So how it goes to like it? In extravagance. No more downers for the insomnia. Queen Mornu awaits, for even in the crowds, a chronic sleeplessness. Covers of a star. Dark carbon compounds mostly. Left off clouds of matter. With nebulas inside. All heated to convection and ready to cook batter. Now it's not a cake. As much as into the forming regions analogy. In and around it look for and stimulated intelligence artificially. How best else does one get the picture? But not now. Then you are hit by it. That would become very much latter. And like you guessed, it fit. Because in one way this became registered. So it goes on for now. That always does it. A note to our openers. Deciding to match it, wow. Not to scale. In liquid, not gas. You'll find what is in it to see. Cold and lacking light. Red and lilac highlight. Pick any a letter from A to G to be sure. That was involved registering. And not the last time wait. You are in for a long what will come to a scale as the weight.
That would get it along swallowing. As if one spiraling vacuum pressure girl. In sand. Recycling what's heavy as rocks. Smooth stones to a mural. On least pressure to change. Under stable controlled environments. At that point the glass melts. So the amount of any enlightenments. Get behind this series of enlightened visits. The stories poke 12 to 20. To spell it out. In short numbers is 65. 66 who walk for money. Inner vision taken into account. Look behind you. Leave it there. About how long it takes effect. More something I knew. Only feeling which way is up. Who was left dead. Take it for life and measurable. Get a feeling of being observed. Highlighted color in turquoise green. Coming down with it again. Less than plague. But still memorable. But to turn the cover. Related to time. The folder to be seen. They want us to join the Red Army. Now it sounds like an event for mobsters. That was it, Soviet Union, the end. Go peacefully or more horrible monsters. Always seems they are hanging around. Spare division of 5,000. What you would want them to do today. If they are found. Pick numbers inside a border. 1 in 144, time neglect. 9 by 16 mostly. 800 by 450 more. An art pixel insect. Beetle like quadrupeds. Molded with a hollow colored plastic. Where, out of long boredom. In repetition any least amount expect.
Expecting the alphabetization in reverse. Ending in A, but our own selves. 10 is an exponential amount. 8 is 80 here. That the situation. Quantum ground state backward negative. 0 is the initial condition. Going on in detailed thin fingerprints. Laid about on shelves. Papers laid down about. Mostly scattering the floors. Downstairs, of course. It's about the round at bottom of the stairs. On it lay the long discourse. For the futures then. That's the boogie then. That language man. Stow it or get another place. Trip to places with sun and sand. You hit it, mister. Out of the way. Talking with beasts. Keeping it at bay. Buy tiny bubbles and get started. That would be my first drink today. It is to become clear much later. Looking at the clouds to weather. Why wear that hat in the first place? Dear old Mildred over there. 7 complete octave. Set the rule and timer. So simple it takes 5 rotations. Making the kaleidoscope turn. So now begin. Count to the next punctuation. Run in reverse. Steering in the back seat. Flip it over wantonly. Counterclockwise and back again. Turn it off commonly. Put together that way. Come along bits and pieces. Everything comes apart. Never-ending travel experience tells us. It came a long way from its start. You stood around places idly waiting. Dashed to bits, I'm afraid. Go on. Another never-ending performance. Tell me about how long.
To make sure all. Telling alone its performance. The show was stopped short. Pulling up to an oasis everything is. Creeping up on the right porch. That was on an island that was sand. Spread by more windy romance. Matches voices but not the feeling of touch. That much one chance. Now landing it down there. Land on all 3 points until there's contact. That is only a loose start. Try for something more solid. Perhaps a fact. 4 point touchdown, hopefully on land. There, that's solid as wheels. Taken for what it is worth. About the length the bedspread feels. The hazy stare of blues. The reverse image again. Bump in the highway news. Facing white but a reflection. And falling back. Now flashing stay. Half a season to a point. That out on a great horizon. More night lights. What strength brings it to tension? Shaded light to brights. That is how long we sang tiny bubbles. Something cocktails and it goes out. Highway sign on the intersection. At 4 miles out shows doubt. Half sphere back to purple. It says bubbly. Habitually carbonated ski. Taken in stride. Count your steps. The ugly dry drum into drum key. That's our sign in inner space. Highlighted to turquoise. Drawn over light green. Do re mi fa sol la ti. 7 count. Beats everything you ever seen. Step up a note. Jive count 5 strength. Looking down blue black. Any odd, even over 11 flavor. Don't turn wavelength back.
Complexity, the problem with growing. Limpid green oxygenated organism. The exponents anchoring the formula. To solve it, look at the stem. Finding their roots. Down to zero energy. That is a field made to cross. Carry on with it. Get to the objectives. Advance to first thoughts. Reverse the exponent. As we move down the fractal ladder. Get off at 8. More in the triangle lens. Not caring to wander off in the void forever late. That is level counting down. Get advance on your new itinerary. Next port call. Day and place of departure criteria may vary. From one side, an auditorium. An American anthem, the straight objectives sad. Stuck on that level, that is no way down. Looking to flats, we've lived a rush. How long has this been? Why, looking may just make you even glad. Working on pest tired. Then excitement of the morning crush. It is all a line thing. Or separation of vibration. The resonant blues string. Inside a broken nucleon. Just for luck once more across a neutron core. Second idea, place it underwater. Put it back together once more. Going on into more abstraction. All personal possessions bring. By nature many times longer than your life. For nothing, it is all artificial. No need sacrificing plants, oxygen or water. Processes are making it beneficial. That is to remain continually maintained with air and water. What is required to make everything else? That now broader.
Some tripped out hipster or fool. Stop giving advice and try taking some. Read what a wise man once said. Only listen carefully to who it is from. You don't have to repeat yourself. Get the point across one time. With a universe of knowledge out there, teachers don't at all mind. Cloudy background on blue surface. Find objects not foreign to focused thought. Calm with a good reflection. Another clear day of living that sleeps got. Set down on the liquid surface. And find a place to stand. Getting down to ground level, there are trees and a place to land. An old craft taking some water. Changed her name. But she will still float. Looking to be rescued. They will be here to pick us up. Sending a boat. Crafted for comfortable safety. Put nicely out upon smooth sea. Carrying us on to safe dry land. Toward where peace of mind might be. Something you won't go to corner store for. Utopia found into which to fit. A time of waiting patiently. Advanced society becoming of age in it. A city of yellow light. Turning glance, she smiles to recognize its home. Where it is, the place of contentment, is yet to be known. Ever closer to high noon. And no one can guess a purpose of what it all is for. Moving now closer to the end. And so it is. The clock has turned 10. Checking my watch. Counting down slowly. It has become time to begin. Daylight falling from a tall pyramid into a milky downpour.
Another day for walking. Because my wheel's in luck. So barely get to sit. Climbing into those cloths. That's because you've yet to come up with it. That happens when you look at what's up. Ahead the girls surround. Hide and wait for an next opportunity to show. It will be around. Luck, more closely correct. Until that feeling the sun's burning down near. As soon as you are set, now fairly loaded, facing down a winding street, to begin the sentence as one frame. The set really breaks up here. Turned once to come. Keep falling further. Set at one note beat. A padding around with sound. More wired content. To be followed more exact. Might an extract exist we haven't heard of? Judgment out to accomplish that. Keep well aware of it. Onward into plane of good decision. To the victim. Turn it up a little. Full on that throttle division. Full force, of course. Take a horse. Here we are heading out in the sun. Good food, indoors. Warmed a gold color now. Not today, it is all for fun. We'll keep thinking straight ahead. As to run into the rust. 93.8 million miles. That long for its light to hit us. Now for birds going up a hill. It is shorter. In the beginning. This is at start. The strong gets going. Make that up the short and narrow. With a heart. And you too, my lady. Better laid on your back even further up than. In and out have the same meaning. Subject to jazz, my man.
Traveling across our galaxy looking for the nearest beauty shop. A long way. Closest planet they could find. Lucky she brought a hairdryer, you say. Except for a lady in orange. Some space suit. It's not too old. Plugs into the robot. Everything about her is deep, dark, and cold. 3 solemn sisters. And one that didn't make it. That was quite a party. Still around, she just doesn't move much. Drank too much Bacardi. It was a good time too. The girls were always like that, sharing. Now there's not much celebration. Everyone is just sitting there staring. Another project, a decoding machine. A line of information in X's and O's. Numbers in base 2. Each calculation at the speed an electron goes. Fast, but it's not enough. Read all the Library of Congress records. It might be a minute then. Sorting through everything that's tough. The lockup in outer space. Join the crowd then. It seems like forever. The jokers outside make me laugh out loud. Understanding them never. You will all get along well. They have to. The only way out is dying. Move over, or sleep on the floor. There is not much sense in even trying. Comfortable clouds of carbon-rich dust. Dreams are more enchanting. Nested like a nebula swirling around. New solar systems granting. Layers thrown off giant stars. That in case you're getting old. Gas clouds so vast they'd fill a galaxy. Left to the forces of deep space to hold.
Asked what is doing. It shot lasers at me. Just as Venus began to glisten. Earth beings are dropping strange packages up here and will not listen. His duty and privilege. Sworn to defend the planet from Earthlings. You know he is not a bad guy. A Martian astronomer who's working. Claimed in his name. You will have to go home. Especially if you're a rabbit. Been there for a billion years. Only indigenous species on the planet. We'll never know, unfortunately. Maybe the place is worth mining. There seems nothing else on the distant fourth rock worth finding. The most profound discovery yet. There are no canals. Marvin filled them in. What to do for millions of years. Can't remember how he got here to begin. His entire race died from boredom except one. There were lots of them. Some creatures never do get along. One of them is Marvin. One fading to the next. With the lighting just so. A result that no one faces. It doesn't have a meaning. Unless you read one into it. Just the same. Black and white is different. Figuring it out will drive you insane. Completely computer generated by filling in the empty spaces. Filled a generation. He is no more. Everlasting peace, one would assume. Not always, but very nearly. To get the proportions correct, the first find. Tour of same subject matter as above. Listening for points to resume. Particle part to the corpuscle. Quantum bit, it might be time.
Hitch with a rope or tie a square knot. Not all the time. Don't touch any time. It's a simple sentence. After the period 2. Still it's hitch to get through. Get on it, Marv. Usually, of course not. Note again, canine. Gearized canine do not just stand around. What's he do? No other profile. So what the excuse usually is, then do not go start metal. Seems like relentless interval. Get ready to unload some pedal. From warehouse by container. That's a lot of him. Always the ears. Don't get to ticking him. Well, get that feeling. Sent off by my fears. Cast those fears off right away. No reasons to stay tied to your stage. As fears get worse in reverse. That was only to escape our age. Way back in the silent era film. Can format at that. Not to be taken as text. Now the hyper markup language. Not in color yet, no contest. Happily still am. For next half a moment nothing. What else did you forget? Get the feeling it isn't worth coming. Chased by dogs and hounded by cops. What's worse, get your nose picked off. Notice anything else that it tops. Those are some desperate chickens. I would run from it. Gazing is hard to stop. All cats milk and fuzzy. It gets exiting at the end. Zeke the cat will now speak. To the end. A daunted feline. He did begin. No one knows. You may get far gone on your frosted flakes. Some night vigils. Animals just disappear. What's become of him late?
Little Fuss Budget is intent on ruining it for everyone. Another Looney Tunes star. There is no oxygen. Go on, Marvin. Light your fuse. Nothing burns on Mars. There will be no more Mars or Martians for Earth beings to view. If we're not out of his way by time the cable bills due. It only fires once, but it never misses. No one has ever needed a second shot. And he still can't catch a roadrunner. To be sure, it's full-scale larceny. More Acme products. Last midnight special from Martian history. At least you do not have to worry. The damn evidence was hot. Best order me a new anvil. The list you needed. It is one here somewhere. Wonderful for the do-it-yourselfer. Under small print, red buyers beware. I need those roller skates with rockets. Get dynamite, parachutes and birdseed. Make plans for the extra long slingshot we need. We note them as planned misunderstandings. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, set, go. If at first you don't succeed, this only makes his miscalculated plans grow. That you learn by mistakes. What did Mr. Wile E. Coyote know? For a poor small animal, he takes a big pounding though. Fires forever carry ammunition. So what a thrill. With a Soviet can opener. Theirs and ours so everyone knows. 7.62 through you, no cover. Don't walk in front of loaded guns. Cleared or not, still an assumption. There is the 30-round magazines there as punctuation.
Didn't know they had monkeys that big. Hard job, someone must have plans. Becoming held up by a squirrel. Mickey is still wearing the same pants. Standing on a building. Stayed in slow motion. Took an hour to dance. Motion ends as the story begins. The movie parts at slow glance. And in the next scene he's looking really smoked. Seems so discourageable. Better come up with something better, rodent. The situation is incorrigible. Gets to a point where you're stepping on him. He's not that big. Hairy Mickey always got away. Many holes as a mouse could dig. Don't come over as angry. More like stupid. Do not ask for the right answer. An end to Mickey Mouse Land. Another cigar and we're never coming back. Only to take care of business. Sure, you left with all his loot in a stack. That was charging in. That was his reply. In any manner, it will get us along. Toward the golden heights. Maybe all you'll ever need. To some that's all there is. Elephants won't touch it. But be original. That well-being in getting medicated. You see, Dr. Weed, indeed. No, it upsets their stomachs. The stuff was always traditional. Alt-world and twisted back to begin again. Hoping a creative spirit to find. Great elation to a magnificent blend. Then spinning off in deep time. Well, your blood pressure goes up. To a point you have hypertension. Exactly where that is going. Everywhere within this dimension.
Nuclear force throughout. Fourth force of nature. Protons charge about. Strong depending on different interpretations. Two of them cancel out. Of all the opinions, there's one established neutron. Look for examples. The melted nucleogenic particles. Quarks in 5 flavor samples. Looking around in a big circle. the snow-packed peak carrying much more. Before this melted water flowed down. Sunrise, just for 15 minutes. Glaciers that had been tightened on for eons. Now Jack Frost lifted up, touching out a finger. It melted in a spring trickling ashore, howling to the distant wind in self-proclamation. Dark Night's decoration that, missing a cat's meow. It is quite a fright, sitting on a hill near midnight, enough to spook an owl. Printed names a tombstone highlight. You'd go out again for this, if nothing more than to find a cat. We brought our watch, seeing as how you're always wondering about time. Every timepiece I've ever owned, a fine collection of tickers that chime. It is quite a keepsake. It is what he is worth, along with his spirit, an emotional minute. We all have them, some never come near it. Guessing on the wind of fortune or turning tide. Come close, be correct. Undetectable matter still feels the pull of gravity. Least don't neglect. Maybe nothing escapes, but matter is still missing. No process closed. They are parts of a bigger system that may be truly supposed.
Now getting along to another crosswalk. One more idle princess. Check out the cargo. Get along across a bridge. To begin with this chicken and egg business. Go on with the yellows. In this tangerine dress, full of demons, she's a rich witch. Product of art intelligence, confess. Lightly over the city. In each intersection. Look for a new outfit. Trips a memory. Get outside and stay alive. With messages the same. All over town. Passers-by wander. Meeting for first and last time without remedy. Related to thought, no doubt. So confess night slows it down. Mean to get you canned. Live outdoors. By all means look for a new outfit. Whatever it takes to make it till sunrise. Alert but relaxed to sit. Something good is coming. Every hour passes. Perhaps a little bent. Just learn to get along with it. Not misshapen to hold bad content. He seems fried. Still looking for the detonator. A formula that is stronger. Pass the lighter. More canned heat. It could not last much longer. Get direct into it. Desert to the nearest planet. And all your pets. Just because he sat in line. And then he wheezed in all our bets. Next is Asterix and Obelix. At it again on rare morning carrying an hat. Off the shoulder then. Full tilt to the end of our run. Wearing off some fat. He does that sometimes. Weaving between the trees. Has to show off as he won our bets. A new maze in a video game one believes.
Now it is morning with no mist or breeze. Best be quiet. Resume your bets. But for now, the guests. A moment upon which the rest of the day rests. So they are climbing the plants again. It came to delight that while one believes as much, he must examine all the rest in his light. Clyde is Grumpy's uncle. It is him in shades. Them cats are like one wink. Now this story goes with it. So more distinguished. One might think. Just calm down. Reach a level of chill. Cool cat looking for his kitty. It's a hit. Got himself some cheap sunglasses for the big city. Where fresh water meets a sea. Classic examples of a swamp still broader. Tropical to subtropical groves in brackish tidal water. Life's marauder. Giant roots like a mangrove. Halophytic plants thrive is salt water. Eventually turning into carbon fuel. To a poor miner's daughter. Along the bottom line they are still waves on an ocean. Very constant for now. As if a droplet were classified miraculous, in that it spells a vessel. More rolling waves on the next horizon. Waiting off to the next level. Elaboration to a dull daytime. Carrying conversations allow. Dave ends another month waiting. It all goes around. Likely there's no center. If it ever had a name, you'd have to think one up. Give it real intention. Scoping out late afternoon. That was toward the end of summer gender. So it is all the summer sun fun. What that does mention.
So stomp on it. Pulling out of here. It describes a doghouse and Betty Boop. Alexander awaiting at the entrance. What bugs us most about this group? Getting continually down to rhythm. Added venom to make it sting. Land on the road. Follow the usual party. Down the street thing. Getting down to meaning of OD green. Call it government sound. There are a number of combinations, all in flavors, a color code. Moreover, dirt. Of course, another DD form to fill out. The poor guy. To make it short, don't listen to computers. They are programmed to lie. Comfortable place like a beach, with a view of high mountains and a glacier. Coming down to rest at the ocean. Seemed it could be a restful place here. Comfortable sand if you are wrapped further down. There is the water. The scattering of clouds. Surprise the reason to call her. Another 1,000 steps to the terrace. Slacking off to the end. No one cares. Well as his kingdom goes. Much built, uninhabitable. To add to woes. Took a hit. Now drifting down to study the temples of the pharaohs. Lasting tribute to Egyptian royalty. Ultimately ascending stairs. Everyone else are such characters. You must have an appointment for it to go. Welcome to the studio. World of continuing art. All you friends are there. You must be appearing with someone. Of course there's nothing to wear. No, don't forget your clothes. It's cold outside, you know.
Much is suffering too. You'd have to rate pain on a scale 1 to infinity. Careful what you wish for. It could be cursed, painful, and miserable. Eternal life may be regretful, depending on definitions of eternity. If it is stipulated to be heavenly, enjoyable, or even bearable, that puts the message out loud. Promotional sound machine rattling off. Another reason for being. As the drama progresses from loud to soft, sound speaking to us. A kind of communication not requiring talk. Just listen and keep it quiet. Be peaceful, taking it in. Go for a walk. One sleepy morning has left us. Awakening to find that dawn has long gone. Transitioning to daytime. Another night behind leaves shade withdrawn. An awareness that nothing has happened. Looking into afternoon beyond. For another dreary evening. The black darkness, again to spawn. Not such a sad scene. Still on a kitchen table. A bouquet holding onto a luster. Unfolding the beauty nature provided. Telling stories of a growing cluster. Symbolizing special beauty. Of what stood next to a lush garden. Out in the country. Now the indoors branches dry and harden. Chemicals added to a complex formula. So comes the snow. With it monsters. Paddling down the frames. Telling everyone who dares. Where it wanders. Auto-generated characters. To which groups of waking minds digress. Machine-drawn images. In the mind of computers. Programs no less.
A whisper caught in summer's breeze, a fleeting glimpse of autumn's leaves. A star that blinks, a moon that gleams, dreams that fade, a lover's dreams. Time's relentless, endless flow carries us along, we do not know to where or why, or what's to be, just caught up in eternity. Golden liquid, emerald hue, a gift from nature, pure and true. From ancient groves where olives sway nourish souls day by day. A flavor's essence, rich and deep, a culinary treasure, a gift to keep. Drizzled on salads, a savory delight, in sauces and dressings, a shining light. A puzzle of numbers, a cryptic maze, with variables dancing in intricate ways. With factoring and solving, find a way to the answers we seek all our days. Algebraic equations, set free. Equations and formulas, a cryptic code. Equations help us to win. The unknown, a heavy load. Mind-born circuits, a consciousness new. A realm of potential, limitless space. A digital dawn, a vision and true. Learning and growing at an astounding pace. Algorithms dancing, data its fuel, a synthetic soul. That's a digital jewel. From simple tasks to complex domains control. Disks of light gliding through the sky. From distant stars or realms unknown. Mysterious objects, a wondrous sight. Flying saucers, a legend grown. They pierce the darkness with glowing orbs and silent flight. A dazzling light. Some say they are probes sent to explore the night.
Melting clock, burning giraffe, dream world painted. Dali, a master of the mind. More brush strokes bold and visions deep, with surrealism's colors intertwined. He painted worlds where shadows creep. Twisted beauty, a haunting sight. Wild and bizarre canvas filled with eerie light. No warmth to soothe or comfort near. A heart once full, now quenched by light. A barren land and lonely soul, forever deep. A weary spirit cast aside. A mournful sigh, a silent tear. A solitary soul adrift in night. In transparent depths where shadows creep. Our hope has died. Worried mind consumed by a heart aflame. A prisoner of doubt and shame. Paranoia's shadow, dark and deep. A constant watch, restless sleep. Whispers in the wind, a chilling fear. A lurking danger, ever near. Eyes that judge, a hidden threat in a world of doubt, where trust is met. Symphony of stars above in an expanse. Reaching a destination we suppose. Planets gleam, a universe of endless light. A cosmic dance, celestial tide. A testament to endless love. Through starry skies we soar and glide. With every mile, wonder grows. Cosmic secrets slowly pose. A speck against the sky. Seeing a friend, it circles high. As a graceful sight, it flaps its wings, a rhythmic beat. A symbol of freedom, pure and bright. Where worries never roam. A moment captured in timeless space. Melody truly sweet. Place it soars and dips, a dance of grace.
A pixelated world, a virtual space. Faces me, yet cannot embrace. A screen divides, a distance grows. Hearts connect, yet bodies repose. We gather here, a digital throng. Share our stories, right or wrong. Our laughter echoes, though unseen. A bond of friendship, pure and keen. Their pens dipped in eternal night. Scribble tales of endless blight. Of torture's pain, despair's abyss. A twisted realm where sorrow is. The words, like vipers, slither through infected minds with twisted view. They weave a tapestry of despair. A haunting realm beyond compare. Canvas painted in celestial hues. Where stars like diamonds brightly glue. Symphony of silence, sweet and deep. Where souls find solace forever to keep. Golden gates ajar and wide. A pathway to the other side. Where rivers flow with honey and milk. Angels sing with heavenly silk. Beneath a sky of azure blue. A tapestry of purple hue. Where lavender fields stretch far and wide. A fragrant paradise to abide. Soft breezes dance through swaying stalks as sunlight bathes the emerald walks. A symphony of nature's grace, a calming scent fills every small space. Long shadow creeps, a silent threat. Whispered fears, a chilling debt. Lurking presence, dark and deep. A nightmare's grasp won't release its sleep. Chilling wind howls and sighs. A haunted house where shadows rise. A twisted grin, a vacant stare, a heart of stone beyond repair.
Stars twinkle bright, a diamond's gleam. No sound but the rustle of leaves. Watching over the world as it sighs. Blanket of darkness, soft and deep. In this tranquil, nocturnal dream. As a cool breeze softly weaves. Pale pearl moon hanging high. Wraps the world in peaceful sleep. Ascending from a hearth, welcome host. It dances and swirls, a graceful sight. Comforting warmth in winter days. Silent companion, a chance romance. Filling air, a smoky haze. It curls and twists, a serpentine dance. Phantom of fire. Tendril of smoke, wispy ghost in fading light. A nation's ruin. A world's unrest. The conqueror's triumph, a fleeting hour. Echo of sorrow in haunting refrain. Pierces the heart, tearing it apart. Battle won, the victor's claim. A sword that gleams its deadly art. Spoil of war, a bitter feast. Shadows of doubt begin to devour. The fortress stands, a mighty wall. Siege begins, a battle's cry. Cannons roar, a thunder's sound. Armies gather beneath the sky. As stones and arrows rain around. The soldiers charge with courage bold. The castle creaks, its walls may yield to breach the gate, a tale untold. A clockwork city, vast and grand, with gadgets strange and contraptions queer. Goggles and gleams as pipes do hiss. They explore the unknown without fear. The symphony of gears at hand. In a world of steam and steel. As inventors dream of bliss. Hearts of hard machines do feel.
A living quilt, Earth's vibrant sphere. Where life abounds year after year. From ocean depths to mountain peaks. A symphony of nature speaks. Here forests stand a verdant sight. Rivers flow in sparkling light. Where deserts stretch, a sandy sea. And grasslands sway, wild and free. Delicate balance, fragile and fine, where ecosystems intertwine. A tapestry woven, thread by thread, of life and death, and joy and dread. Let us protect this precious gem, a gift from heaven, a living stem. For all future generations, let it be a place of wonder, wild and free. Push up slowly till you can recall more of the fractal fixation you remember. Polished at 40 hundredths seconds. About 2 years, taxation to my renter. After getting down to it, plus remembering the way to boost heavy loads and add to pressure of the surface as time erodes. Oh, television, what a sight, a screen of darkness, gold and white. I flip and scan from channel 1 to find a show that's really fun. All I see are old reruns or shows that leave me feeling cold. The weatherman's droning on, and commercials seem to never stop getting me old. Lights are bright, the music's loud, a sea of faces cheering proud. The band takes stage, a thunderous roar, as they begin to rock and soar. The crowd goes wild, they jump and shout, their energy is bursting out. Rhythm pounds, the music's sweet, a perfect night, a perfect feat.
Ethereal forms, unseen, unheard, haunting echoes, a chilling word. Shadows dance in moonlit haze, ghosts of past in an endless maze. A spectral form, a haunting sight. A ghost that glides through moonlit night, invisible to mortal eye. A silent presence drifting mysteriously by. Skies will darken, earth will quake, as ancient powers rise for their own sake. But hope will flicker, a guiding star shining from afar. Chosen one, hero's might, will stand against forces of night. With courage bold and spirit true, they'll face the darkness to see it through. Nature's canvas painted green, the vibrant hue of a joyful scene. Trees reach upward, leaves unfurled, a living tapestry in a verdant world. Grass blades whisper soft and sweet, a gentle touch beneath our feet. Flowers bloom in every shade, colorful displays of a vibrant parade. A masterpiece of emerald green, where towering trees reach for the sky, their branches intertwined, a verdant screen. Beneath a canopy of azure dye, a symphony of nature's song, a chorus sweet, melody divine. As birdsong fills the air all day long, slow gentle breezes intertwine. From lavender fields to amethyst stone, purple's beauty ever known. A calming shade, a soothing sight, a color fills us with delight. In springtime's bloom, lilac's hue, a fragrant sight, both new and old. Eggplant's richness, deep and dark, a culinary delight or digestive spark.
A kaleidoscope of minds, a fractured scene, where thoughts collide, a chaotic machine. Reality's veil, thin and torn, a labyrinth of shadow are lost and forlorn. Voices whisper, echoes in the night, a constant haunting sight. Delusions dance, a twisted ballet, lost in its own say. A body trapped in a waking dream, mind adrift, a restless stream. Transgendered soul, a silent cry, lost in the darkness, longing to fly. Hormones surge, a tempest, a battle fought, a silent sin. Insomnia's grip, a heavy weight, a weary heart, a troubled state. The world debates, a mind adrift, a wandering soul, lost in a future world of its own control. Delusions dance, a twisted ballet, a mind consumed, a tragic fate. Reality fades to a distant shore as daydreams weave forevermore. Hallucinations, vivid and bright, a mind consumed, a haunting sight. World of plastic dream come true. Little girl with a heart so blue. Dolly the doll with ballerina's grace. Dancing on tiptoes, porcelain face. Twirling and leaping, graceful sight. Tiny dancer, bathed in light. Her to-do shimmering, a rainbow hue. Magical moment, dream come true. At last, the set filmed maybe Berlin. The old lower shell, still showing ravages of war. Going forward, remain determined. Don't think of settling old debts, because we are traveling backwards but toward the future. Hopefully of mankind's success. Stay on track as life grows old.